Hi, I'm Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot, and this is the Letting It Go series. The series is timeless, so whenever you come across this recording and you're going through a transition, then this message is for you. So today's message that I want to go through is healing with kids. So we may be making the decision to go on a grand adventure or to change our lives, but our kids don't always make those decisions. And sometimes they're willing participants and sometimes they're not, and sometimes it depends on the day. I know my 11-year-old, he is on board with our move one day, and then he plays with a friend, and then he's like, I'm not moving. And it is really tough because these little guys go through a lot. They are navigating so much, and it's not always their choice. So I wanted to ask Spirit on how to help talk to kids and help them through a process of transition. So how do we help? How do we help our kids get through transition? How do we help our kids get through transition? Three, two, and one. Advice from Spirit on talking to our kids about transition or helping our kids get through transition. Oh, there's that card again. Wow. Interesting cards. Okay. So in the past, there's the 10 of Pentacles. There is some form of material completion. So they could be finishing school, they could be letting things go, they could be donating their old stuffed animals. There is some form of release that's happening with them. So I feel like there is an acknowledgement of completion. One thing as I was laying the cards down, what I was getting very strong in my mind was let them be part of this. And I feel, and that came down as, in my mind as soon as I saw this Eight of Pentacles, which is them working on it. And then it's kind of echoed again with the Seven of Swords. They need to be part of this transition. Don't just do it for them. I mean, obviously, if they're like, 2 years old, or, when I did move my son one time when we were three, and yeah, he wasn't part of that. But actually, I think maybe he did help with like putting a thing or two into a box. So if they're physically capable of doing so, let them be part of that transition, whether they're helping to put an item in a box, even if it's just one or two things ceremonially, or if they're a little bit older, then they can help purge things on their own. Let them get rid of things, especially when they're kids and they're going from different stages, right? From like the toddler stage to, the next step up. And then from that next step up, to the bigger kid, to the tween, and the tween to the, like all those different phases where they're kind of purging some of their old toys and allowing that space to bring in something new. Not only is it a transition from house to house or location to, whatever your situation is, but it's also acknowledging the different phases of them growing up as well and giving them that opportunity to have something new to move into. And that's literally what this is saying. Excuse me. Allowing them to be part of that purge. Let them decide what they want to get rid of. Don't do it for them, especially if they're at the age where they can do it themselves. Because it's also part of a grieving process for them too. For as much as we go through it as adults and change can be hard and difficult, imagine being a kid. They're letting go of their friends, their identity, their familiarity, their bedroom, all of that stuff that we have that's like that comfort zone that creates that space, that environment where we feel safe in. All of that's going away. And, you got to talk to them and have them. Not all the kids are really good at expressing themselves. My son, he kind of is very selective of when he chooses to share, but it's usually later at night when the sort of day is sort of done. And I'm just sort of tucking him in at night. And that's kind of when he feels safe to chat a little bit more because there's not a lot of activity around and he's just letting the day go. Talk to your kids, ask them questions. Don't just feel like you have to dictate to them everything. Have them tell you what's going on and uncover. And go into it expecting that there's going to be some uncovered hardship or some disappointment or some sadness. They're going through grieving process potentially of letting go of friends, losing friends, the fear of the unknown. They have their own nine swords. We as adults have ours in terms of all the logistics and the planning, but the kids have theirs too. And we're not always acknowledging that. Let them be part of the process. Let them tell us what they want to let go of, and then be part of the activities within the home. Let them pack a box or two. Let them decide what they're going to get rid of. Let them be part of that transition because it's going to help them usher their own physicality of the transition itself. Going from A to, from the beginning to the end point, there's a big gap for them too. And it's the fear of the unknown. They have no idea what we're going for. And if they've never gone through a move before or a transition before, this is going to be even more terrifying. For kids who have moved a little bit, like my son, he's already kind of experienced it once before, but he knows how to keep in touch. He knows, how to be able to have that conversation with his friends to make sure that certain friendships that he wishes to keep can continue on in our new location. And so going forward, the Hanged Man, this is a change of perception as we are quite literally moving forward and giving birth to a new life. Gosh, it looks like this transition could be easier for the kids and it might even be on the adults. So I might even say, let them help, usher in this new kind of perspective of what life is going to be like. It may be harder for them up front, but they may actually transition through it a little bit easier. Whereas, we may be kind of stressing over all the details. They're not stressing over those details. They acknowledge it's already finished. That's already done. Mom's got it. Dad's got it. Someone's got it because they're giving birth to this new life. Once they release and let go of, maybe I don't want to move and I'm going to hold on for dear life. At some point, there is that shift and they acknowledge the move forward and the giving birth of a new life. God, this is absolutely amazing. But let them be part of that process. Let them tell you what they're ready to let go of. And it may be a phased approach as you go through your transition, a little bit at a time. It may not be all at once, like what this card is saying. It may be a little bit, but that's okay. Because I think where you ultimately want them to get to at the end is exactly what this card is saying, giving birth to a new life. Top of the deck, Page of Pentacles. This is their step forward. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Wands. We as parents need to support them, listen to them, have them be part of it, participate, even if they don't want to. It's that ceremony of release that they really need to be a part of. Allow them to go through their own grieving process, have them say goodbye to their friends, have them find ways to keep in touch with others, but ultimately support them and start talking about what this new life is going to look like. I'm sure you're probably already doing that, but maybe allow them to dream into reality what this new life is going to look like. Because you never know. They might have some pretty good ideas in terms of where we need to take things. I actually even want to clarify the Page of Pentacles. What ideas do they have to come up with? The Fool, new beginnings. Nine of Pentacles, sovereignty. King of Wands. They just want to feel safe and protected in their new home, in their new environment. Oh my God, this is going to make me cry. It's so sweet. Like we just need to reinforce everything's going to be okay. And reassure them that this new life is for their best and highest good as well, and allow them to help participate and create in the new beginning. What is this life going to look like collectively? Because everyone's going together. So let them help guide us a little bit. Well, I think I need to do that too. This is Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.